Hey, it's Adam from Splendid Sports, back for another edition of 3 and 3, where my guest shows three of their favorite cards in their collection. And then we look at three cards that my guest hopes to add to the collection in the future. I am joined by Scott of Reindeer Studios. How you doing, Scott?
I'm good, Adam. How are you?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you coming on here. This is actually the ninth edition of 3 and 3. So you've been someone who's left some really nice comments on my other videos, my other 3 and 3s. So I really appreciate that. And I just, in the last, I would say 6 months, found out about your channel. I know you're well known and you've been around for a while, but I caught a video that you did with James Elite Hunters I think it was about 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And like I do when I discover channels, I kind of ran through as many of your videos as I could and you, I'm sure this is the first time you've heard this, but you are an incredible artist. The stuff you do on your channel is unbelievable. So I think we have the best, in my opinion, the best sports card artist, the best, probably one of the best artists in the world. And probably one of the worst artists in the world in me, because I have zero ability and zero skill in that area. So I have even a higher admiration for someone like you than the average person who might have even a shred of artistic ability. So,
Well, you're making me blush, man.
but yeah, incredible. I mean, that Satchel Paige right behind you there. When did you do that?
I didn't do that. That's actually a Dick Perez piece.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. There's another good one. Awesome. So this be like with most of these that I do, this is the first time that we've ever talked, even though we've messaged back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So could you just give for people that haven't come across your channel yet, give like a overview of what you do on your channel and just the topics and any info for people that might not have seen it yet.
Okay, so basically, I'm not necessarily a sports card channel, but like I hang out with all yes, and I draw or paint sports art on my channel, and I kind of use it to fund my own hobby. So I do talk about my collection a little bit here and there, but that's where I'm coming from.
So I've seen on like recently, like Don Field of Dreams YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
you did an incredible piece for him that he showed on his channel. But how does it normally work? Do you get a lot of requests from other YouTubers or people that find your channel on YouTube that offer as a service, like, hey, can you draw this and I'll pay you this? Is that how a lot of that works? I know you do for your friends and so forth. You do nice favors for them, but do you get a lot of like business and work from YouTube?
I do get a lot of requests, and I can't take all of them. What happened was I started my Holy Grail card is a T206 Cy Young portrait. So I thought I'll start taking some requests because before I wasn't taking that many requests. So I'll take some requests, try to earn a little money, and buy this card, and I'll like um, kind of journal that through YouTube, and so the response to that has been nothing short of amazing, and people like are always asking me to do things, and I can't take any more right now, but I'm really close to the end of that Holy Grail quest. So um, once I get that finished up, then I can start taking requests again.
Great. Yeah. I mean, I figured you'd probably had a pretty good waiting list because it's not like the
Mm-hmm.
work you do. It's not like something you can just whip quickly together. I mean, it's unbelievable quality. And I should say, it's not like you said. It's not just sports cards or sports. It's I saw on your channel one of my favorite ones was Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation. Sketch together, stuff like that. So like celebrities, and it's just incredible quality, unbelievable.
Well,
Uh,
thank you.
yeah. So and you're a Cleveland Guardians. I always say Indians still, but Cleveland Guardians fan. Just pretty much baseball though, right? You're not too into any of the other teams like the Cavaliers or anything like that.
I am into the other Cleveland teams, so I don't collect as much. I have some Cavs cards, I have some Browns cards, but I'm big into baseball. That's my thing.
So you must be pretty excited here. The playoffs about to start.
I am.
This is the Guardians are a little under the radar, in my opinion, going into these playoffs. I think I looked online. I always like to look at the odds to win the World Series before the playoffs start, and they're like 25-1 shot. So definitely not the favorite. But
Right.
man, as someone who's a Red Sox fan, you have one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best managers of all time in Francona.
Gotta
I don't know
love
how you
Tito.
feel about him, but when the Red Sox let him go, I was very disappointed.
I would be too.
Yeah, he's just an incredible manager. I mean, I don't know why I was so confused at that whole thing that went on with the Red Sox. I have no idea why they let him go. And well, look what he's done with the Guardians so far.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll talk more about that, but let's get started if we can. What do you got for the first card of one of your favorite 3 cards?
All right. One of my favorite was a recent Nationals pickup. It's my T206 Napoleon Lajoie.
Wow.
And that's a 1.
That's an incredible 1.
It is.
Whoa.
It's because of the back.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
There you go. But it is gorgeous.
Wow, look at that front. Unbelievable.
So I had a short list when I went to the National of cards I was looking for, and that was on it. And then, but it wasn't number 1 really. But I was walking around and I wanted to get the big boy card like as soon as I could, so that I knew what my budget was for the rest of the show. And I saw that one, and I kept looking around, and kept calling me back, and I was super excited to pick that one up.
How many Nationals do you go to?
I've been to the last 4.
Okay. And the Cleveland is on the schedule, right? Like it's Chicago next year, and then is it Cleveland after that?
Correct.
So that's great for you. I mean, that's awesome to have it right in your backyard. Let's go, if you can, let's go number 2.
Okay, number 2. This is my Destruction Crew from 1959, signed by Minnie Minoso, Rocky Colavito, and Larry Doby.
Wow. I've never seen that card.
Yeah. So these are three Cleveland legends. It's like it was in the 1959 top set.
Oh, okay.
So it's a base card.
Wow.
And they did a few of these cards with a circle there and like multiplayers, but this one is really cool. And I have only seen 2 of them that are signed by all 3 guys.
And where did you get that?
That one I got off eBay. It was kind of by accident I found it. And I put in a really strong bid because it's like one of my favorite cards ever. And I've only seen 2 of them signed, like I said. And I got it for less than half of what I thought I would. So I was super excited to pick that one up. That was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah. All right. So let's go card number 3.
Okay. Artists are cheaters. So I cheated and I didn't go with the card, but I went with a piece of my art. So this is Len Barker and Morgana. So this was a digital print that I made. I saw my buddy Michael Myers. He's a big TTM guy. He got Morgana back one day. And I thought it would be really cool to get Morgana with Len Barker, who pitched a perfect game in 1981. And he got a kiss from Morgana in the 1981 All-Star game, which was in Cleveland. So I really like that story. So I put together this piece, and I found a private signing with Len Barker. And my wife, it was actually in Columbus, which is about 2 hours south of where I am. And she was at a convention or something. And I asked her to take that and get it signed for me. And then the promoter really liked it, and he bought one from me. And Len really liked it. And the promoter has since asked me to do more pieces for his signings, which has been a neat experience. So that kind of led to bigger and better things. So after I got Len Barker to sign it, I sent it to Morgana. And my post office actually didn't put enough postage on it, so it got returned. And I sent it back again, and they didn't put enough postage again, and they got returned, and I sent it back again, and she made me sweat a little bit, but she finally signed it, and it's one of my favorite pieces.
That's incredible. I was gonna say that, like, I've never done a TTM, but I'd imagine it's very nerve wracking, especially when it's like a two-part process like that, where you have to send it to multiple people. You get the first leg done, and then you're sitting there praying, like, please, let me get it back.
Right.
I saw on one of your videos, I've seen multiple of them, but how you do those digital, what do you call them again?
The digital print.
Digital print. I'm just watching it and going like, how is he doing that? It's like, I mean, it's like, seriously, it's like watching like a foreign language or something. Like, I don't understand how you do it, but it is incredible. Again, if you haven't checked out Scott's channel, there's a ton of videos to go through. But it's amazing to watch how you do that.
Thank you. The digital prints are all done in Photoshop, and I use like pictures of like textures, and I make shapes out of the textures and kind of put them together and kind of make a cartoony image like so.
Wow. And how did you learn to do that? Did you go to like school for that, or is it
I
just all
did go to
self-taught?
art school. Yeah.
Okay. And they teach that sort of thing in art school?
A little bit, and then I just kind of keep going and keep going, and teach myself.
It's incredible. Awesome work.
Thank you.
And you got a bunch of those on your channel too that I love that you got them signed too. That just makes it such a cool collectible. All right, so let's move on to our next part, which is where we look at 3 of the cards that you would hope to add to your collection.
Okay.
I'm going to pull up Card Ladder here just so we can find some images here as we talk about the cards. There we go.
There he is.
There he is. So what we have, the first one, Scott sent me these 3 ahead of time. So I got the first one pulled up, which is the 49 Bowman Satchel Paige. This is just, Card Ladder pulls up some of the recent sales. This one actually sold on Heritage Auctions at the end of September for like $2,500, and it's a SGC 1.5, nice version there. But this card, in any, whether you have it ungraded or graded, it doesn't matter the grade. It's just one of those cards. It's unbelievable.
Right. So this was the #1 card I was looking for at the National, and I didn't think I could afford it. And I did a 3D painting for George from Diamond Yard Sports Cards of Satchel Paige, and he kind of convinced me that I could afford it, but I didn't find the right one at the right price there. So that's when I settled on the Lajoie, but it wasn't really settling because I really like that Lajoie. But yeah, this one's at the top of my list. It's probably my next Holy Grail card.
And would you consider this along with the Leaf as this, or is one like more considered as far as a rookie card? Like, are they both rookie cards in your mind, or is this more of a rookie card?
I consider them both rookie cards. They're close enough.
Yeah,
I actually do like the Leaf one better, but that one's just absolutely ridiculous.
Right. See, I think I'm the other way around. I think I like this one a little better. Okay. Again, both awesome cards, but I like something about. I mean, it's hard. Leaf is usually like if there's a card of a player on that Leaf set, that's usually like one of my favorites. But this one, something about this one, it's just, I don't know about the image or whatever, or just the colors or the way the hat pops. I just love this card. I think it's my favorite Paige card.
That bright red with the bright teal is really nice.
Yeah. So great pick there. Yeah, it's an expensive card, but like you said, I think the Leaf is more expensive of a card for sure. But yeah, I think this would be, if I don't have a Paige card, but I think this would be the one I would also try to make a run at when the time came for that.
And everybody's talking about 49 Bowman right now, and I wish they just shut up, because this is the one I want.
Yeah, I know. We'll keep it quiet. All right, and then let me pull up the second card here. Give me a sec. Type that in. So the second one was P206, Nap Lajoie. When I was a kid, I called them Lajoie. Lajoie with bat. What we got here for that? All right. Let me know. Is this the one right here?
That's the one.
All right. So this one here, this was 2.5 SGC 2.5 that recently sold October 5th, just like a day ago. $1,350 on eBay on a fixed price listing.
Okay. All right. So when I got back into collecting, it was 2018, and what I wanted to do was just do the T206 Cleveland Knapp set. So I'm almost there. A lot of people that know me know that I'm working towards that Cy Young portrait. That was a big one. The Lajoie portrait that I got at the National was a big one. And after that, there's two left. There's this one, and then there's another Cy Young card. But I think this one is a lot more obtainable. So I'll put that one next.
So does he have, how many, is there three?
He's got three, yeah.
Three in this set.
Mm-hmm.
I joke about the pre-war stuff, cards like these that, I mean, that is such a beautiful card. Like so many others that I've seen too, like T206s, or I mean, there's just so many pre-war cards that I try not to even like look at too long, because I don't have the budget for it at this time. And I know myself that like the more I see and the more I learn about these, the more I'm going to want to start collecting them. So at this point, I'm just trying to stay in my lane and stick to like post-war cards for the most part. But
they are addictive.
Man, when you see a card like this, it's like, how do you not want to go down that lane? It's so hard. Beautiful card. Let me pull up the third one here. All right, third card. Another great choice. 1957 Swift Meets Rocky Colavito. There we go. All right, let's pull up this one here. All right, this was just one that sold. This one, not, I guess this was, oh, actually, yeah, this one sold back in March of this year, $395, looks like, on eBay. And this is a PSA 5, but this is such a cool looking card and set.
They are awesome. Like, just so weird, and I love like that you'd be able to like punch those out and make the little figures out of them. It's a neat set.
What were they? Were these in with like? Were these in with hot dogs?
I think it was hot dogs. I'm not sure. I know that there was like a redemption. There was like one in a pack of the meat, whatever it was, hot dogs or bologna or whatever. And then if you had 3 proofs of purchases in a quarter, I think you got the whole set and a game board with a little spinner. So it's like a whole game you could play with these figures.
This was another one that I said I didn't know about until you sent me your list yesterday or a couple days ago, and I learned about this set and I started looking at the checklist and going down that rabbit hole, and yeah, it's such a cool set. I love it. And Rocky Colavito is kind of, you know, as a Cleveland fan, obviously he's near and dear to your heart, but you know, I would say like nationally and in the hobby, he was such a great player, but he's definitely, I think, undervalued or overlooked in many aspects in the hobby.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, it's great. This is, I think my dad told me this. He always gave me these stories about the guys from from his day. Was he the guy, Rocky Colavito? He had such a strong throwing arm that he threw it like over the center field fence from home plate one time. Or did you ever hear that story?
I haven't heard that story. I know he was really slow. Like his defense wasn't that great,
right?
But he could hit a ton.
Yeah,
that's what he was doing.
He was like had a strong. He wasn't like a fast runner. I think he had like flat feet or something like that. But he had a real strong throwing arm, from what I remember. Unless I'm mixing up with someone else, but I think he had like a cannon, which I love outfielders like like Clemente and even like Red Sox player Dwight Evans, guys who just had absolute rifles out there in the outfield. And I think it was him that he threw it over 400 feet or something like that just randomly threw it from home plate over the center field fence. I don't know. My dad was always filling me. We'll look it up, but I'm pretty sure it was him. But he would always fill me with those like tales from his day, that I'm sure it happened, but some of them when I was a kid, I would just be like, "What?"
That's cool.
Amazed. All right. So, what type of collector are you as far as like, are these cards that would you look to buy them ungraded? And do you care if they're graded or would you want to just buy them graded? How does that work with you?
With the Swift Meats card, I probably wouldn't care. If I could find it raw for 200, I'd jump on it. But you just don't see them very often, so I'm not too picky as far as that goes.
I don't know how many raw or ungraded are out there anyway.
Yeah, I don't see them often. I think there's 3 on eBay right now, and they're all graded and they're all really expensive.
Yeah.
Um, as far as the other 2 cards, the Satch I would probably want to have graded just because it's such a famous card right now, and I think I'm confident enough to see a raw T206 and know it's real, so I could do that.
Because that was, I've mentioned this before, but I'm planning on my first card show of my life. I know it's crazy. I've been collecting for years, but never been to a card show. And I'm planning on the National, hopefully next year, to be my first card show.
Okay.
But one of the things, I watched a lot of people's videos from this year's National. One of the things that really stuck out to me was how much vintage I saw that was ungraded. That was just, it seemed like there was a ton of raw vintage at that card show.
There
Did you
was, yeah. Yeah, and you're not getting any discounts on it right now on raw stuff, so.
Yeah, that's the tricky part is if dealers are pricing the raw as if like, well, this is what it will grade and this is what it's going to cost in that grade, then yeah, it's tough. It's tough to do that.
Right.
That's
So
probably why a lot of them didn't move.
there was I recently picked up a 67 Rocky Colavito, and I had been looking because it was just going to go in a binder. So I'd been looking raw, and I ended up buying a PSA 4 because it was cheaper than anything else I could find.
I credited James Elite Hunters with me discovering your channel. If it's possible, where you could recommend another YouTube channel that you think would be someone who would be interested in doing one of these 3 and 3s.
Yeah, sure.
If you got anyone off the top of your head, I'd love to hear it.
Well, I'd love to see you do one with yourself where you like edit yourself in talking to yourself.
Hey,
I think that'd be a great idea.
that's a great idea.
But
I don't know if I'd have to figure out. Yeah, I did. The problem with me is I have very minimal, as you can tell, editing skills. Right, I just pop on the laptop, but I will try to figure out how to do that. Yeah,
we can do that.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
My buddy Four Leaf is another Red Sox fan, and I think he would be a good guest to have on. He's not going to show his face, but
he doesn't show his face.
No, he doesn't show his face.
Okay,
but he's like he's like the complete opposite of me. I'm very focused, and I know what I want and everything. I think it'd be interesting to see where he's coming from, because he's all over the map and he collects everything, and really neat guy.
We could do it. I'm fine with doing one of these. It might be a little different, but I could have him on. He doesn't have to be on there and on camera. That's fine.
And he talks a lot more than I do. So
no, but
great interview.
I understand why people don't like. For me, like until I popped on YouTube last year, it was like such a weird thing for me to like the idea of going on camera or whatever. I'd like so, but now I'm getting a little more of the hang of it, and it's becoming more natural. But in order to connect with people, I felt like it was not necessary, but it probably was going to help if I could show my face. It's a little harder when you don't.
And I think this whole 3 and 3 idea is a great idea to connect with people, and I loved every episode you've done so far.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you were one of the first, people to ever comment on it, and it was just something that just popped in my head when I had Dylan Double D. We were going to pop on together. I was like, let's think of an idea to make it, some sort of theme. And I was just like, let's do 3 and 3 because it's tough. I mean, how was it tough for you to narrow it down to 3?
Oh yeah. Like I could do 2 and 2 real easy, but it was always that third one it's such a simple question, but such a difficult answer.
Yeah. And I love the why behind that. So a lot of times that's the most important thing, is why is that one of your favorite, or why is that a card that you want to hopefully get for your collection? So Well, I'm glad you've enjoyed it, and I'm glad I was able to get you on. You were on my list for a while, and we're now in the ninth one. So
Awesome.
we'll
Number
go
nine's
ahead.
good.
I'll try to get Four Leaf. What's his first name? Four Leaf.
Eric.
Eric Four Leaf. Okay, because I know I've seen his videos, and I think he's even commented on some of mine. So that would be a good one to connect with for sure.
Right on.
All right, Scott. Well, hey, I can't thank you enough, and yeah, I can't recommend highly enough. If you haven't checked out Scott's channel, the quality of work is just amazing. So
Ah,
thank you for sharing that with us.
thank you,
There's
Adam.
nothing else like it. There really isn't. There's nothing else like it. So thank you very much. All right, Scott. I will be in touch, and who knows? Maybe we'll be able to do another one of these eventually. If I run out of people to do this with, I'm going to circle back and just do a round two. So
Great.
hopefully get you on again.
All right. Awesome.
All right. Thanks.